Hey, welcome everybody. Today we have a guest, Sean Mitchell. Uh, Welcome to the channel.
Thanks, Sue Hames. Appreciate you having me on, man. Happy to be here. Uh, I think it'll be a fun one. I think it'll be a fun show.
Yeah, it'll be a fun one. We were just talking in the lobby for a minute, and I feel like we're gonna have a discussion or two, and I'm perfectly fine, like taking a player I don't like with a guest. Like I have no problem doing that. But afterwards, I will want an explanation of somebody I don't like. I'm fine doing it because I don't want zero of any player.
I totally get that. Like,
Yeah,
and I do it too. Whenever
yeah,
I have guests on, that's basically my philosophy. If I have a guest on, I want you to basically tell me who you want. And it's kind of like to your point. It's like you do get that extra bit of exposure that you probably wouldn't get otherwise. So totally get it, totally understand, and trust me, I'll try not to make us take anybody too bad.
Like I mean, you're not trying to lose, right? Like,
That is definitely
but
not the plan. No.
right, yeah, yeah. But like the and what I say, like I want an explanation. It's more like I want to know what I'm missing, right? It's not
Sure.
a
Yeah.
explain yourself, kind of thing.
No,
It's
and,
more of
and
a
honestly, yeah, I totally don't mind.
yeah,
Whether it be the pocket of the draft, whether it be you get an ADP faller, whether it be just a tie break, week 17 correlation tie break. I will say that's usually about where a lot of my thinking goes and lines up. So, I mean, most of the time that's where I go to. Obviously, opportunity is a big thing, especially when you get into the later rounds. I tend to try to take the guys who I think are going to be on the field as early as possible, especially if they're young guys, or B, are undervalued and obviously think that we can get major value out of these guys. So it just kind of depends. And I'll say I'm the biggest let the draft flow, kind of dictate what I do in the draft, because honestly, I never go into a draft saying this is going to be a 2-6-8-2. This is going
yeah.
to be a zero running back. I never go into a draft saying any of those things.
Absolutely. By the way, I did pop into a 30-second BBM. We'll sit here and talk a little bit for like I think we'll get it filled. Sometimes these take a while, so
I tried yesterday with Jim, man, and I popped in a 30-second first, and I think it moved 2 spots in like 5 minutes, and I'm like, all right, man, I'm sorry, but I don't want to be sitting here for like 20 minutes waiting on a 30-second. We just hopped in a 20-second, and it filled within 2 minutes. So it's like, it's pick your poison ish, and
yeah.
obviously if you decide to wait, that's completely fine.
I want to go ahead and say hi to the chat. We got Anthony, we got Victor, Big Draft Energy. And by the way, after this, I will be going on Big Draft Energy's channel at
Oh, are you?
6,
Nice.
yeah, 6 p.m. Central. JT Bestball, Hartman, Fantasy Football Garage, It's Barry, Zero, and Peppers. I think that's the first time I've seen Peppers in here. Welcome to the channel. Thank you
Yeah.
for and
Jalapeno's usually in my streams. He's a reg. He's always in the drafts with us, so wouldn't be
all
shocked if
right.
he's in the draft with us too.
And Losimo and Best Ball on Call. The Who crew is here. The Mitchell crew is here.
Our
Yep,
powers combined.
that's right. We shall do a BBM. Like it may have to be a 20-second, but I posted in the Pound Discord too. We'll see. Uh, but so who are your stands right now? Like,
Um, I mean, are you talking like early round, late round? Like, well, what's
give me one
just
of the
highest
top five,
exposure?
one of the top five, one of the top like between 5 and 10.
I would say in my top 10 here lately. I'm just gonna pop open real
Yeah.
quick.
Well, mine have changed because like mine was Rashi Rice, and I
And
had
and
30.
that's the
I had
thing.
thirty
Like I had a
percent.
huge
Yeah,
stand pre-draft, and then now I've got huge stands coming post-draft. So I
right.
think that obviously makes it a bit difference too. Like if obviously pre-draft, you don't get any of the NFL draft. You have hardly any news. So obviously your exposures are a lot different. Once you look at what you were drafting pre-draft. Which I will say, I've looked back at a few of my pre-draft exposures. I did like 187 pre-draft teams, And yeah, a lot of them I'm just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So Mark Andrews was a big tight end that I had. I had 24% of him pre-draft. Jonathan Taylor was 24%. Jerry Jeudy, Juwan Jennings, I had 21%. Jerry Jeudy had 23%. Adunze, I had 20%. Bryce Young was my highest quarterback at 19%, but I also had 18.2% of Dart. So was a heavy stance on Dart early on. Running backs, my highest two were Jalen Wright, Rico Dowdle, Zach Charbonnet. And then, let's see, other than wide receivers, I had a lot of Calvin Ridley. I had 20% Jacoby Myers. And then tight end wise, it was mainly I was taking a lot of Higbee. I had 15% George Kittle.
Hey, we're almost full. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, my biggest hand pre-draft got railed in the draft, and that was Martinez. Damian Martinez.
Yeah.
Like we didn't hear anything about the character concerns and all that, and then like here, like I still don't dislike my stand. I didn't have the right information, like,
well,
and nobody
now,
did.
Did you hear about something else after the draft? Which, because honestly, like, we have not heard anything about that guy since the draft. But was there not an allegation that came out? I can't find it anywhere, but I could have swore there was an allegation that came out from something that happened in Miami, and he was in some kind of legal issue. I may be totally off base, and I might be making it up for all I know. But I could have swore I had saw something or heard something, but you cannot find anything on it now. And his name has totally been like shadow realmed.
I seen something posted about something happened from college, but like I'm assuming, I think it was something that happened like when he got like last year before college or something.
Okay.
But it kind of disappeared. I remember reading what you're talking about. I don't remember what it was.
And maybe it was just reported from way back when, and maybe it's not a thing. But yeah, regardless, the landing spot was not favorite at all for him. He's in Seattle, right? That's where he landed. Yeah. And it's just, Sharps being the clear cut too there, unless there's a trade. Now, that would probably be your best bet. Like if they dished out, there's been a lot of Ken Walker trade rumors flying around. There's been a lot for Sharps.
I mean, that is the one out for sure. But like, I still, I mean, to be honest, like as a runner, I still think he's great. And when one of those two get hurt, because they both kind of get banged up here and there, especially Walker, like I think if we get some carries for Martinez, he may at least show something. That doesn't mean it's going to matter, but like, yeah, my biggest exposure got smashed. By the way, one more. We just need one more, a 30-second BBM.
I was going to say, let me fire off.
We're really close. And by the way, Barry, the answer, it's not a plan. It may happen, but it's not really a plan. So no T-Law. So you are not on the T-Law train.
I'm not on the T-Law train.
I'm on the Brian Thomas Jr. train.
I don't know, man.
And like,
I think that there's this big misconception at the moment that just because that Liam Cohen went to Jacksonville and just because they drafted Travis Hunter, it's just automatically going to make T-Law be like this really great quarterback. And I'm just like, I've watched Trevor Lawrence. I've watched him ever since he entered the league. He had one good year. I know that we can play the injury card game all we want. He got injured, blah, blah, blah. The guy's never just been accurate. His long balls suck. He didn't really run a lot last year, and I think that's mainly due to the fact of the injury. That's the only other thing that would get me on him is if he had a certain rush floor, but he does not have that. And I don't know if he ever will again.
And coming out of college, he was supposed to be a little bit of a dual threat, right? Like not a massive dual threat, but he was a guy who was
he ran a little bit in college. Yeah.
Right. Hey, well, we got it to fire.
Let's go.
Let's look and see what we got. We got the 108. Losimo is at the 5. I think I know that name.
Jalapeno's at the end. I told you he would be in there.
Okay, Jalapeno is at the 12. Rutten Hard is here. That is it's Barry.
Okay, cool.
And I'm pretty sure Falzul is somebody who's been in a couple of mine. I don't know the name or who it is, but
Yeah. And to that, Big Draft Energy just said he's also had terrible coaching. I'm not arguing that fact either, because Doug Peterson is awful. He was a good coach. Doug Peterson has done some really good things in the league. I think that it was kind of too far gone at that point with Jacksonville.
Yeah.
They started off awful, and it just never got better. And again, if Cohen did what he did with, Baker Mayfield, which I think Dave Canales had a lot to do to begin that resurgence for Baker Mayfield there in Tampa. So Liam Cohen is absolutely a great OC. He's got it now. You got to remember, he's the head coach now. He is not the OC, which I'm sure the offense is going to be heavily influenced by what he wants to do and how he wants to do it. But he has a lot more on his plate now than just worrying about play calling.
Yeah, and I heard that when people were talking about Ben Johnson, like former head coaches that were offensive coordinators, saying, I wouldn't be surprised to see him like he probably won't be able to handle the play calling duties, which is what he's really good at.
Exactly, or focusing mainly on that as well.
All right, so I have my ranks in. I can click ADP if you want. It's fine with whatever you want.
I'm fine with what you got, man.
All right.
For me, at this point, it's usually Nico or Malik. Neighbors, I think is getting pushed back because of the toe injury that he's being nursed right now. But I'm totally fine with Neighbors.
I'm fine with either one. I've been clicking Neighbors more because I have 13% Nico.
Yeah, I saw your percentages there too, and yeah, I saw that, and
yeah, it's fine. I actually got all the way. Like, I do not want to be out on Neighbors, and I was at 4%.
I have a lot of Neighbors. I will say that I'm not worried at all about they're putting him in a bubble wrap, and they should. I mean,
they really should.
He could easily be the wide receiver one if things break right, and Russ continues to be a average quarterback. I would say, because we know his time has already passed, but we saw what Neighbors did last year with Drew Lock, Cutlets, Daniel Jones, even. So yeah, I do think that he has an upgrade at quarterback, and it's not a big one. It's not a huge upgrade, but I do think that it is an upgrade.
I mean, I think both of them are upgrades.
And I think Dart. I think, honestly, I'm huge. Like I said, I've got 20% Dart in pre-draft. He was I was taking him with my round 19, round 20 pick just about every time I could. And because most of the time I was pairing, which at the time I didn't really know he was going to go to New York. I was really thinking he might go to New Orleans. So I had both those stacks in play. I like Ladd.
Do you?
I do like Ladd. I don't mind Devon. Yeah. I think we continue going. Continue going wide receiver heavy there. Oh,
yeah. I've clicked the Bowers Neighbors thing about 3 times now, so I'm good not doing it every time. I just, I want some of those in my portfolio. That's about it. And by the way, anybody who's here, who's part of the Who crew, go follow Sean on everything. I have all of his descriptions in the descriptions. So, or all of his information in the descriptions. I will say that correctly. But yeah, he puts out all kinds of stuff on X. Like, he's very active there, and I enjoy reading all of it.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Feelings are mutual. But yeah, I was reading the chat while we were talking, and Big E, talked about the unlocking of the rushing ability for Baker. I think Baker's always had that rushing ability. He just, and maybe it was Liam Cohen that kind of helped him get more into the position to get that rushing floor. I don't know if that just easily translate to Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if that makes sense to think that just easily translate, because they are 2 different quarterbacks. I've always thought that Baker could run. He ran at Oklahoma, which, again, Trevor Lawrence ran at Clemson. But I don't think he's running much more. I think he's worried about injury. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a big rusher. Not near what Baker is.
We seen that with a certain quarterback in the AFC West, right? Who used to run all the time. And
Bo Nix? Are you talking Bo?
Talk about Mahomes. Mahomes used to run reasonably well. and he still does when he has to have it, but it used to be all the time.
Yeah,
His first couple of years, he got banged up a couple times, and he stopped doing it because he realizes most important thing is for me to be on the field, right?
Exactly. And I honestly, I felt that way with Lawrence last year a lot because he wouldn't, where he would run would be near the red zone, he's not. And he was not doing that much last year, and that's what really worries me, that he's really worried about getting hurt, and he doesn't want to take the chance anymore. I saw it in his play.
And
sucking Dart getting on the field. I think Dart's really good. I think he's raw, but I love the arm talent. I love his rushing upside. The guy is a bull. He's a hard worker. I don't know, man. Which, coming from an SEC guy, I'm an LSU fan. I watched a lot of Jackson Dart. I really just enjoyed watching the guy play. He's really good. He was one that I hated watching play against LSU. But yeah, I'm a big Dart fan. And my projection was, I think I've drafted against King of Kings a couple times.
That's actually, I was getting ready to say, I missed that. That is Frank. King of Kings is Frank.
I've drafted against him a few times.
He is a fantastic drafter.
Cool. I'm fine with either of Garrett or Devontae here. I think either one's fine. Whoever you like.
Do we have any week 7? I don't take a. I'm definitely
no week 17 there.
I'm honestly, you can pick. Either one's fine.
Let's do Devontae for the touchdown equity. I just do think that he's going to be a major red zone threat, and we've got early touches already. I feel like with Malik and Ladd, I think Devontae's there going to get that half point, give us that really good half point floor with getting touchdowns. To
be honest with you, the only reason I put Garrett Wilson where he is just because I love Justin Fields. I love that click.
I mean, I'm heavy on both. I'm very. I was drafting Garrett Wilson. I've got a heavy bag of Garrett Wilson. I don't have as much Fields. I will say that mainly because he was just going in an awkward spot of the draft. Yes, I am watching College World Series. I'm going to be watching Arkansas LSU tonight again for round 2, and hoping that LSU closes them out tonight. So go Tigers.
Yeah. Okay. I don't pay any attention to other sports.
I'll be honest, I haven't watched much of the actual season, but I have started watching the College World Series, especially because I live in Arkansas and my family's divided. So we've got half LSU fans on my mom's side, my dad's side's all Hog fans, and my brother. So it's always a good time.
All right, let's go ahead and note what the 11 hole is doing.
Yep.
I'm
sure you know what they're doing. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just noting that this
is a no badge. I know that, and it looks like it's going pretty crazy there.
11th spot is cooking.
Yeah, I think 0 is giving a little fun there, huh? Where we at 41? You've got Brees ranked 30, so
I do.
I'm totally fine taking Brees because I'm light on Brees as well, or not.
Yeah,
you're much heavier than I am. So I don't mind taking Brees here. I think it's a good start for RB1.
Normally, if I go 2 wide receivers, I pull Brees up ahead of Devontae.
See, I've got Brees at 41 in my ranks, so that's right around where I would take him anyway.
Nice, yeah, and man, this team feels awesome. But we have 3 players or 4 players in my top 40 or 30. So
yeah, you can't beat that. And they've all kind of just fallen to it. Yeah, I mean, it's the draft, I will say, has fallen to us at this point, and it's a good start.
I assume it's going to go off the rails at some point. That's just what happened. By the way, we got 23 watching. We only have 10 likes. Please smash that like for me if you like it.
Hit the like.
Yeah. And also, it looks like I don't know how to check how many is actually watching on X. Oh, 45. That's awesome. If you're over there and you watch this for a while and you actually enjoy the content, please come on over, smash the sub for me. And all of my guys, please absolutely go over to Sean and make sure you sub to him.
Thanks, man.
Oh yeah. I'll pound that in here and there. I will shamelessly plug. It's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And absolutely, we'll definitely have to have you come on Extend the Drive pretty soon. I'm gone next week. I had a work trip last week, which I couldn't stream all week. Now I'm doing a show here. I've got a show on Friday. I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to steal the thunder. I am doing a show with somebody else on their channel Friday. And then I'll probably be off all of I don't know if I'll do anything on the weekend. I'm not sure yet. But starting Monday, I will be sitting in a boat on the river all week. So I'm going to be gone next week. So probably no shows. Definitely no shows next week. I don't even get service there. So
you got to be fishing or?
I'm trout fishing. Yep.
Trout fishing. Nice.
Yes, sir. All week long, and I cannot wait.
And you live in like Maryland?
I live in Northeast Arkansas. So I live.
Oh wow, way off.
I'm literally like I'm in the very, very top north right, corner of Arkansas. I'm 10 minutes from the Missouri line.
Got it. So are you a Dallas fan?
I am, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, so to be honest, like as a Chiefs fan, we were because you hadn't won a playoff game in like all those years, right? Kansas City was actually right behind you that whole time until Mahomes. Like, I don't know if you probably remember that because you lived near both of them, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I partially felt that pain. It's over for me, but like.
Sure, yeah, right. I know it, man. We had our heydays in the mid-'90s, so.
That was a great value. What do you like here? Do you like taking one of these running backs?
I like Chuba. Yeah, I think Chuba's good. He's probably easily my favorite out of this range, unless I go wide receiver, and then it would be a Dunze probably.
Which one do you want? I'm fine with both.
I'd rather go Chuba and just get another good running back here because I think that's just going to help us. We got 3 great wide receivers. Yeah, we're like pairing up another.
And Rome comes back to our next pick.
Rome's been falling. Rome's been falling a lot lately.
I'm actually starting to get bullish on Rome myself.
I've been bullish on Rome since I was not on him last year. I will say that. I tend to be that guy that gets on the guy the following year after he has a rough year, and that for me this year is definitely Rome. I was not on him at all last year. I fully faded Rome last year. Didn't like the condition with Keenan Allen being added to the team. It was a rookie quarterback. I knew that the coaching was not great, and not trying to say I was fully right because we all saw what happened. I mean, I think they said he had like a 60% uncatchable ball rate. I totally think that's going to change this year. I think that Caleb is a lot better than Trevor Lawrence, for one. He does have a nice rushing floor. I do think Caleb can continue to have that nice. And obviously I'm high on Caleb as well. But with that being said, yeah, I think Rome is going to, and obviously Keenan Allen is gone essentially. Keenan Allen, he required a pretty high target share. And I think Rome's going to get that.
I'm actually I was never really into the Luther Burden hype. I don't know where you ever landed on that. And watching the draft, it felt like they just panic picked.
I think they did too. I think they missed on who they wanted at running back.
Yeah, and then
they took Burden.
And they're like, we'll take him. He shouldn't be there. And then they traded out of the next pick. So I think the entire draft went.
It was an abort plan. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, and I fully agree there. And and then Rome falls to us at 65. So
so smash.
Yep. Like it.
Sometimes it just works out. Read over the team real quick. Running back, we got a 2-4 through 6. We got Breece Hall, Chuba. Wide receivers: Malik Neighbors, Ladd McConkey, Devontae Adams, and Rome Odunze.
Yeah, I really like the squad so far, man.
Yeah,
it's beautiful start.
Feels awesome.
Beautiful start. But yeah, DJ Moore, I feel like is going to get his. They drafted Colson Loveland as well, who's a freakish athlete for a tight end. I feel like this offense is going to be much improved. They didn't really go out and get a hammer running back that is really going to take ownership of a lot of the offense. So I think Caleb's going to have to throw a lot again. They beefed up the O-line. It's going to be wheels up. I'm fully into the pass game for the Bears.
I fully understand how good Joe Thuney is.
Yeah.
Man, that man is awesome. And that's not the only guy they added. The other two they added are also really good.
Yeah, like they actually went out and got guys. Like they put targets and they went and got them. And not only that, but yeah, bringing on Ben. Like I just feel like he's going to get the best out of all these players, and we're going to see it as early as this year. And I feel like it's wheels up, man.
Yeah, and go back to the coaching thing. Like, so that former head coach was saying that his first season, his play calling wasn't like he couldn't do it because like there was all these extra questions that he just couldn't answer.
Talking about Eberflus? Is that you're talking about Eberflus?
No, this was like a
Waldron. Waldron was the OC for a while, right?
No, I'm talking like an NFL media guy, like
okay.
like it might have been Lombardi or not Lombardi, Mooch. It might have been him.
Okay. Yeah.
But he was basically saying that like he doesn't understand how much he's going to have to deal with. It's not just the offense. So when it comes down to it, maybe he won't be able to do play calling as much.
Yeah.
But like he'll be able to be in all the planning meetings. But like Ben Johnson's biggest strength is how awesome he is at play calling. Like he is insane at play calling.
Yeah. And I feel like that's he's going to heavily influence it. I feel like he will absolutely heavily. And again, same thing for Liam Cohen. I'm not saying that it's not. Both quarterback situations are similar in a way. Caleb's only in year 2. Trevor's in year 4 or 5 now. So Caleb obviously had a really, really bad year 1, but he had no coach that wanted to watch film with him. He had no help. Like he didn't know what to do. Like I feel bad for the guy.
And it's not like DJ Moore was out there rooting him on.
Exactly. It wasn't a good situation overall. I think that the whole morale on the team is totally different now. I'm going to be honest with you. I would go Downs, but I'm a Downs truther over Diggs. I think Downs is if Danny Dimes starts, which it looks like he is, wheels up for Josh Downs. I've been trying to buy him as much as I can, especially where he's going. I think he will rise with the intent and the decision if Daniel Jones is declared the starter, which at this point I feel like is almost as clear cut. I feel like there's 80% chance that Daniel starts.
I think it's higher than that. So
I was being conservative.
Yeah. So my take on that situation is that Danny Dimes starting is bad for Alec Pierce and good for Adonai Mitchell at the end.
I don't really, and I've stopped really taking a lot of Pierce, and I've taken a lot more AD Mitchell. I'll be honest, which I was taking AD Mitchell as it was. I was taking them all, to be flat out honest with you.
I was taking a lot of Pierce before the Danny Dimes news, and I
was heavy on Pierce last year, which worked out. And honestly, I still think he's one of the best deep ball guys, and at doing what he does good is the deep ball. I mean, I don't know if that's going to translate, kind of like what you're saying. I don't know if that exactly translates well with Daniel Dimes.
This is kind of ugly.
I'm good with B-Rob, or I'm good with we could go Cup for the Week 17 correlation with Carolina.
I mean, I don't ever take Cup. You can make me. I will take it if you ask.
I think we could go for B-Rob. We already got 5 solid receivers. B-Rob makes sense. Gives us another really good running back there, early down running back.
As you see,
and there's a chance that he could. I can see you're totally full fade there.
like
I don't know, man. I feel like
I'm actually
saw somebody say this the other day, and I was who I think would bounce back. Man, who was the comparable that they were using with Cup? But I flat out in my head, I said I think it's going to be Cup. I think Cup bounces back this year. I'm not saying he gets back to his 2022 or 2021 season that he just went absolutely bonkers, but I think he's more than serviceable.
I mean, if he gets what the Mike Clay projection was, which is 800 yards and like 5 touchdowns, like that is fantastic at this point.
I think that's favorable.
So the fade for me, so the reason I have a fade on him, and I've actually moved him up, like I had him at like 125, but I've actually moved him up to like 99. The reason why I was so bearish on him is because I believe that they shouldn't take Cup and put him in the slot and that because JSN's best role is slot. But I also heard recently that they have been running him, like they've been talking about running JSN on the outside so Cup can do the inside stuff, which I think is a terrible idea for them as a team.
I don't
Like
think
as a team, I think it's awful. Like JSN can do both,
yeah.
but like I think and it might just be like a 60-40 split thing, and that might be fine. But if Cup can get at least 50% of his snaps
Mhm.
from the slot, I think it's a fine pick where it's at. I
Yeah.
just wasn't expecting that to be a thing.
I don't know, man. I'm a big believer in Kubiak. I think he's very good at OC. I think he is absolutely going to cook up ways to get them both on the field, and it's going to create some awful mismatches. And
Yeah.
I think that's where he's going to shine. Like I don't think he's going to be like you said. I don't. Let's
Are
see.
we
I'm
Caleb?
good with Caleb. Yeah, I'm good. I'm
So
good describing Caleb.
I need to move. I haven't updated my rankings yet this week, so I need to move Burden down.
Yeah, I haven't
Like
redone my rankings in a minute too.
yeah,
But going back to that point, like I think that Kubiak, we saw what he did with New Orleans last year. They were smoking to start the season. You know, they were putting up multiple. You know, they had some really good. I mean, obviously Derek Carr had some good games.
Yeah.
But I like Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold did a great job last year in Minnesota. I think he's going to have just as good of a year, and I think he's got another good head coach. He's got another good OC. I'm a believer. Like I think that offense is going to be just fine.
My worry is how bad that offensive line is.
That's true.
Like
That's true.
Because of Sam Darnold, right? Like
Yeah.
he historically has not been great with bad offensive lines, and like, but with that being said, whoever's in the slot might absolutely eat.
Yeah.
So if it's going to lean towards Cup, I need to stop my fade. Like I agree with that.
Well, and that's I don't, and it was funny that they had that. I think it was when it was during a practice or something. They asked Cooper. They're like, everybody's saying that you're going to take the slot row from JSN, and he's like, imagine putting us in just one slot. Like, I'm good with Andrews.
Andrews. Yep. Let's make sure. Do we have any bring back situations here?
No Green Bay.
Nope, we don't.
No Tampa Bay for Jonnu.
I think
we do have, which of course we're not taking double quarterback for our week 17. We'll get a San Francisco later, maybe.
Yeah, I think Jonnu and Andrews are both like mispriced. Like the fact that both of them are behind Travis Kelce, like I don't get it. And I have 6% Kelce.
I've got a ton of Andrews. I can't say anything.
Yeah, purely because like I had so much Rice. I got Mahomes, so I just double sacked it, right? Like but even with having 30, like I think I'm down to 25% Rice right now.
Right.
I still only have 6% Kelce because like with 12% Mahomes. Like,
I'm not in on Kelce either. Even though I just think he goes way too early. I think he should be 30 picks back. Way too early. And back to that whole point, like, yeah, I don't think there's much of a chance that he gets benched. I think if he gets injured, that's one thing, but I don't think he gets Darnold, who I'm talking about. I don't think Darnold gets benched. McDonald kind of put that to bed really quick in the presser. It's like, I don't know what's being said out there, but he's the starting quarterback and he's going to be our starter. I don't think you need much more coach speak than that. Like, I don't think the guy's getting benched. I don't think he's got a short leash. He played too again. The O-line is definitely a factor. But with that being said, going back to the Cooper JSN, they got Marcus Valdez Cantling for the outside. I just think that Cooper and JSN are going to be used interchangeably in the slot, in the flanker. They're both going to be moving around. Like Kubiak is smart enough to get them both in positions to win, and I think that they're both going to have good years.
And I was wrong in the way I was approaching it, thinking that it was going to be like an 80-20 to where Cup only got 20% in the slot. And I'm not saying that we know what's happening yet, right? Like we don't know.
No, we don't.
But I do think it's going to lean more the other way. Like looking into things a little more. The reason, like I'm actually one of those that believe that Milroe will start late, but I also think they're going to be a disaster. Like because of the offensive line, but if their offensive line holds up even somewhat, like they're very mispriced.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I totally agree. I mean, they have
and
really cheap options.
I actually click naked Darnold quite often and just take
I
Arroyo.
have.
Yeah,
I think
just
he's
take
just a
Arroyo
great
or
third
MBS.
quarterback. Yeah,
Yeah.
MBS, Oreo. I
I
think he's
mean,
just a great third quarterback that he's got a rushing floor as well. He can run. He can use his legs.
right.
Yeah, I'm good with Herbert and just packing
If
up.
he,
Yeah,
yeah, unless he
unless he
Grunge
tries to.
here snipes us. That's I mean, I'm fine getting sniped. Like
Sure.
I don't get all fired up like some people do when I get sniped.
No, I don't either.
Uh,
It just makes me. I just go to the next
like
pick. But
I will
um,
usually look at their team and see if
there
they
you
had
go.
a reason to do
Yeah,
it.
right, right,
It'll be
right.
like,
And then be
okay.
like, come on, man. And it's usually
And
like, oh, you had a running back to pair with the quarterback.
especially with this going on, like I want to
Yeah,
make sure we lock up our quarterbacks as
yeah,
well. So
yeah. And I guess the final thing I'll say on the whole Cooper Cup thing is I don't think he's going to be an every down player. I don't think anybody thinks that.
yeah.
I think we understand, and I think he understands what his role is. I do think he's going to come in with a chip on his shoulder. The Rams didn't want to bring him back. He let it be known that hurt him, a little bit, pulled on his heartstrings. Yeah, I think this could easily turn into a revenge tour. It could be,
And,
one of his final paydays. They paid him to come. They paid him a decent amount. Was a 2-year contract, I think. So yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
think
like 15 million a year or
yeah.
something.
I mean, he got paid,
And
so
he's literally went back to where he grew up, right?
he's in his hometown.
Yeah.
Yep. I think there's a lot of positive things that you can say for
Like
Cooper. The only bad thing is that we saw last year was he had very bad declining metrics. We all know that. Yeah, he didn't look good, and honestly, yeah, we the age cliff's there. I think everybody was just too, I guess, a bit overzealous, thinking that he would return to form.
all right. Here
I mean, you got Colson Loveland there too. If you want to double tap or get a double, or
I'm fine getting the double here if you want. I'm fine with
I
Tajay
think
as well.
Spears falls a little too, and we
Okay.
might still be able to get Spears, but I would
Yeah.
definitely like to get Colson Loveland here.
That sounds good. I don't get to him a lot.
Well, just since we have
Well,
Caleb,
so
it makes a little
he was
sense.
going at 124, 125, and like
Yeah,
I never thought he should be ahead of Tyler Warren myself. So
right.
I couldn't click him very often, and I've been taking him quite often now that he's falling.
He's dipping. Yeah.
And because he's in a range, I don't feel bad. Like at 120, if we go like Andrews and him,
I was gonna say,
like
especially being your tight end too. Like,
yeah, like especially because like I've known this whole time, like I'm sure you have, that he is injured, right? So you do need to add a third, and at this price, it feels a lot easier to talk myself into that third tight end
yeah,
than it
absolutely.
does a round and a half earlier, right?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And yeah, I think I would totally be fine going three tight end with him. I'm not worried about the injury with him, to be honest. He was injured coming out of college. We knew that, I mean, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, I have my shares of Komet, by the way, especially like in Eliminator.
I don't have
Komet.
any commit.
I'm taking some of him in Eliminator, just like Higbee. Like in Eliminator specifically, I will take those two players.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like not in BBM probably.
No, I mean, I see Chad Candle say that he wouldn't take Loveland over Njoku and Kraft, and I'm the biggest Njoku truther you'll find. I love David Njoku this year.
I
His
love
price
him
is
as well.
amazing, but we had Caleb. We already had Rome. We're betting on the pass game. Why not get that tight end too? At 137, I think is completely fine.
There's a player I would love to fall back to us, and I'm assuming you know who it is. I'll say it whenever he goes because he's probably going to go.
I have to see the board, but if I got a good, I think I got a good idea.
Yeah, I mean it would go with the theme of what we're doing. So, hey, what's up, No Cap? Thank you for stopping in. Yeah, Bears tight end 2 is right.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to be the tight end 2. I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, even if he is, it's not going to be long, right?
No, he's too good. He can also line up in the slot. He's going to be a mismatch. Loveland's going to be sharp.
Yeah, and I actually love the pick where he's going now. Like I did not like it at all a round and a half earlier.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
And I'm still Tucker Kraft and Njoku over him. And
absolutely. That's not a question. But again, If it was a naked Kelson Loveland, yeah, no,
Right.
not a chance.
So Isaac Garendo is the guy for the bring back.
Yep. Yeah,
who
with
I
the
would
San
like.
Francisco, Chicago. Yep,
Are
totally
you
agree.
good with that?
Absolutely.
All right. I kind of figured that.
And I'm not in on CMC, so I absolutely love Garindo, and I've been taking Garindo as much as I can.
I took 0 CMC out of 259 draft, or I guess I took a couple shares in Little Board too.
Yeah.
But so of the 209 drafts I did that wasn't Little Board 2, I had 0 shares in pre-draft.
I mean, I only took him when he fell to CMC was falling. At some point, you could get him in the 15, 18 range, and that was the early days whenever we didn't know that we were getting the positive reports.
Whenever we started getting the positive reports, like after the draft, I actually smashed him until he got to like pick 11.
12, yeah, 11, 12.
And once he got to like pick 11, I didn't take him anymore. Like I still have like yet to click him.
Now he's at like 8 or 9, and I'm just like, this is absurd.
I had like
absurd.
I had like 11% of them just doing that, and
I think
like
I maybe
I'm
had
good
like
now.
3% in pre-draft. Where, like I said, I was taking him in the 15 to 19 range. I was taking him when he fell there, but I wasn't taking him before then.
What do you want to grab Stafford here? Do you want to attack another wide receiver? Like our wide receivers are
I think we should grab
another running back.
No, I was thinking wide receiver, if anything. But I really don't love this range. We could do Romeo Dobbs and get the Green Bay run back for Baltimore if you're into that.
We could do that. And
I think Stafford falls, and honestly, I don't feel like Stafford. I don't think we have to have Stafford here.
Crunch here was nice enough not to snipe us earlier.
Yeah,
and he has Puka.
Yeah, I would be good stopping at 2 quarterback. That's me.
Okay.
I don't know your thoughts. I think we've got 2 really solid quarterbacks.
I'm fine with it. I honestly like one of the reasons I like Neighbors is because if Dart's there in the 18th, like it's like a free click.
Sure.
As long and that's kind of where I would like to go with that.
Yeah.
And like
that makes sense. I mean, obviously you're not doing that with Russ. So
right.
Yeah, Dart, absolutely. Late season hammer. So
I have it's like 11% Puka and Devontae Adams, and I have 2% Matt Stafford or something. So like,
I'll be flat out honest. Puka and Devontae don't make me, even if I've just got one, and I have done the double a time or two, not very much, but I don't ever feel like I have to have Stafford.
I don't either.
He has 0 rushing floor. He's a pure pocket passer, and he rarely, I don't know how many games he had over like 12 to 14 fantasy points last year. Like he's probably hardly ever going to hit your roster, especially if he's your QB3. I don't know. I just don't think he's going to make your lineup a ton. I feel like I don't know.
I honestly agree. What do you think about this? Komet will be a Steeler or Texan by the deadline. I expect Loveland to finish the year very, very strong.
They just paid Komet a lot of money. I don't think he's going anywhere.
I don't know about that.
I think they'll definitely run a lot of 12. I think they'll run them both.
That's where I'm at. I think they're going to run a ton of 12, especially at the goal line.
Yep.
Like Luther Burden doesn't profile as a red zone target. DJ Moore doesn't profile as a red zone target. Rome is the only one that kind of does. And Cole, I think that
I can see that.
I think that's where a lot of your touchdown equity may come from them. So
yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And Chad Candles, I like that comment. I agree with Stafford. It's odd. Like he has. It looks on paper like he just had a massive game, but then you check the fantasy score box and it's like 14.5, and you're like, how in the world did he only get 15 fantasy points out of 3 touchdowns? He's that guy. Like, yes, he can support, and that's why I don't mind just taking the wide receivers, is because yes, he can support them both, and both of those guys are going to eat. But for some odd reason, he does not eat.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. Now, this part of the board
is tough.
Like, I actually love the round 17, 18 wide receivers, the shots you take there. And I kind of would either like to get a third tight end here, or Because these tight ends actually project for more points than any of the wide receivers or running backs will, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
There's
I was gonna say I'm a fan of Guess or Ertz.
You say Gesicki?
Yeah, I think Gesicki's a good one-off, and I think
Yeah.
he'll have spikes. So I think that's why I tend to go with him here because we've already got two. I mean, Mark Andrews is probably going to be our strong starter, but then Loveland it should be a spike week guy, and I think Gesicki's also a spike week guy.
I actually love him as a third tight end with a Jonnu or a Andrews or an Ingram or something.
I agree.
Like I love that. So yeah, and honestly, I was expecting us to kind of disagree a little more on some of these picks, but
It's flowing pretty good right now,
this
dude. I think
definitely flows.
we're on the same page right now.
Right.
Maybe
Right.
it's the flow of the draft, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's the key is just do whatever the room gives you and like
Absolutely.
accept it. There was a comment in here. Yeah, so this right here, like that's just bound to happen, kind of like the dual running back thing with the size of the linebackers and everything, like being so much smaller. Like, and then we'll have bigger linebackers and they'll go back to small receivers running around everybody. Like it's gonna cycle, I think. I'm very bullish on this guy, as you see with my rank.
I can see that, and I'm completely fine if we need a running back. I'm fine if that's him.
Yeah, I mean, if you prefer like Sampson or Lloyd or anybody, that's fine.
Take Hunter. If that's your guy, take him. I'm more than fine with that. I don't have a ton of them. I got a feeling that it's going to happen. It's going to be the same way that it was with Blake Corum last year. And now Corum's still there, and people are really talking up Hunter a lot. So you tell me, what do you think is? No, go ahead and take Hunter. Yeah. I'm totally fine with that.
All right, so
but I want you to sell me on what you think there, and why is it different than what I just kind of mentioned?
So Blake Corum is a clone of Kyren Williams, right? Okay. Jarquez Hunter is a completely different style of player, and the coaching staff mentioned that after they drafted him.
Mm-hmm.
The coaching staff came out and said that like in regards to Travis or Jarquez Hunter, I think I said Travis earlier, but
oh, you're fine.
Jarquez Hunter, they wanted to add explosives to their game. So to me, that means he's going to have a role at least by the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, last year, Corum would get like the third series or something in the game, and then he would basically get 1 to 2 series a game. So I could see the case where you're saying that Jarquez maybe gets that role and possibly still gets to get in on the passing game because we already know that Kyren is not a pass catching back. He's
right.
Not,
like I think they drafted him to mold him into a third down.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. I can see that.
And that's an offense that I fully believe is going to be a top 10 offense this year.
Yeah.
So that's my
Stafford's. It's Stafford's last go around. It's his last hoo-ha, whatever you want to call it. Not to be confused with Who Hames, but I do think that the offense will be good. I don't know, man. I guess everybody was which I was big on Kyren last year, huge on Kyren. I had a lot of Kyren. Don't have a lot this year because of just where he's going in the draft. He's really going in the same spot that he was last year in that 36 to 38 range, 33, 38 range.
But don't you think that like if you loved him at that range last year, like actually like half a round earlier, and you don't like him at this range that this year, you should be on Hunter a little more?
And that's the thing, like McVay is tough, man. And
no, he is. He absolutely is.
You can't believe a word he says. For one, the guy was playing Ronnie Rivers snaps. He was a big Malcolm Brown truther. Like he gets his guys and he runs them to the ground. Like,
let's talk
about that is my issue
real quick. So we got Caleb Williams, Justin Herbert, running backs, Breece Hall, Chuba, Brian Robinson, Garindo, Hunter, wide receivers, Neighbors, McConkey, Adams, Rome, Downs, Dobbs, and then 3 tight ends. Which do you think we have to have, a running back or a wide receiver?
I think I would probably like a wide receiver here. I like A.D. Mitchell.
I'm fine with AD.
Either.
AD.
I think AD is a good flyer right here.
And then with this last pick, we could go dart or
Could
we
do
could take
dart.
RB. Like,
I like running back.
okay.
But
Yeah,
again,
no, that's fine.
but if you feel more comfortable with 3 quarterback, I'm completely fine with that. I will say that because I think the running back room is decently strong. But I feel like if anything, which obviously the plan here is that Brees and Chuba are going to essentially be our early, our main floor guys.
Which running back would you want if we take one?
I like Samson.
Manungai? Do you like Manungai at all? I haven't clicked him yet, but I'm just curious.
Do I like who?
Kyle Manungai.
Oh, no, because I'm a Roshan guy. Even though I've seen the reports, I've seen they're giving him a lot of talk. I've been a big Taj guy.
Taj
I got a lot of Taj.
He already went.
Okay.
I was looking for him, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say he would have been probably my first choice. I like, and Samson already went too, huh?
Yeah, Samson went.
Let's just do dart. I think we're fine. I think any of these are going to be flyers anyway. I like dart's probability and chances a bit more. And if dart comes in and him and Malik Neighbors are what you need in week 15, 16, 17, I'd rather have that than have some round 18 running back.
I agree fully with talking through that too, because like all of the guys you were saying are all of the guys I'm willing to take above that quarterback. Right. Keaton Mitchell is one of them. Marshawn Lloyd, I would be. Samson
was there. I like Ford too. I'm in on both Samson and Ford because one of them's going to get the third down row.
And Brashard Smith, I'm also so like doing that actually made me like taking Hunter all the way up here even more.
Yeah, because that's why I was more than fine with it because I knew we needed a running back, and honestly, with your conviction, I was just like, hey, I'm more than fine with that. We need a running back. So I believe that did help us a little bit there in the round 18. So
all right, so the team is finished. The standard 3-5-7-3. Caleb Williams, Justin Herbert, Jackson Dart. Running backs, Breece Hall, Chuba Hubbard, Brian Robinson Jr., Isaac Guerrero, Jarquez Hunter. Wide receivers, Malik Neighbors, Ladd McConkey, both stacked. Devontae Adams, Rome Odunze, stacked with also Coastal Loveland. Josh Downs, Romeo Dobbs, and Adonai Mitchell. Tight ends, Mark Andrews, Colston Loveland, Mike Gesicki.
Yeah.
We only have 2 rookies, but like we have a lot of year 2 guys. So
right. Yeah.
So like that it's perfectly fine. Like our entire receiver room is like year 2 guys.
Yeah.
Like Adonai Mitchell, Rome, Ladd.
Those are, I've come to those are the guys that I want to bet on. Like, especially if they showed promise year 1. Wheels up, like McConkey, like Neighbors, like AD Mitchell, who showed really good flashes with Joe Flacco. I'm more than fine. I think Romeo Dobbs is just a good staple guy, Plus, he helped us on our week 17. So, yeah, I like it. I think the draft went really well.
Yep, got it in here. We have it named. You don't have to stay. I'm definitely doing another draft. If you need to leave,
I'm probably gonna have to hop off because I think my kids are probably gonna be coming home shortly. So I'm gonna hop off and intercept them from my parents so they don't have to come in hooping and hollering and yelling, and the dogs will be going nuts and everything else. So
yeah, all right.
Hey, man, I appreciate you having me on, dude. And obviously, I'm absolutely gonna have to have you on soon too.
Go ahead and plug your stuff. And by the way, anybody who is in here, go in the descriptions and sub to this man. He knows a lot about ball. Like, he's thought through everything very well, like very articulate in his thoughts. So
appreciate that. Thanks, man. So Twitter at smitchell17. You can find me there. X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I still call it Twitter. I'm a Twitter OG. I've been on Twitter since 2011 or something. So been there for a long time. Yeah, I like to put my takes out there. A lot of people don't agree with them, but I still have fun with it. I do also do a little bit of streaming now. Started in early May. YouTube.com/@XTDBBL, Extended Drive Bestball Live. Look me up. Give me a like, give me a sub, man. Totally appreciate it. Who Hames, you're a gentleman and a scholar. Appreciate you having me on. Like I said, we'll absolutely have you on as well soon. Like I said, I'll be off next week, so look probably the week after or the week after that. Be definitely looking. But yeah, we'll be having lots of more guests on. Got a pretty good line of guests right now that I'm working through. So
Nice.
a lot of shows coming up. It's going to be a hot best ball summer. So going to be lots.
And to kind of touch on what you said earlier, I'm going to be on that same show on Friday. You will be, and I have no problem plugging it. Awesome. I like JT's fine.
Yeah,
I will be on JT Best Ball at 8 p.m. Central for that slot. I may be a few minutes late because I work 12s and I get off at 7 and I have an hour drive. So like I'm going to be pushing it, but I will be there. I don't know what
I'll be on there right before you. Yeah, I'm on 7 Central.
Okay, you'll be on right before. So and I will plug that later. But yeah, I will definitely see each other in passing then.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Look forward to it. But anyway, man, good luck on your draft. Hopefully that one gives us some sweat, and I'll be in touch. I'll be in touch, man. Good luck,
for
brother.
sure. Yep. See ya.
Thanks, man.
All right, chat. Type in the chat. Do you want to do an eliminator or a super flex? Either one is fine. Those are the two options today. I have some bullets left in the Schnauzer too, but I'm saving them for slows. So Superflex, Puppy, or Eliminator. And I did not ask about Big Dog there, bro. That was not in the options. We got, I assume Superflex is going to win. Oh, we got another Eliminator. You know, it's been a while since I've done an Eliminator on stream. We'll just go ahead and do that. Since I'm by myself, I will enter the 20-second Eliminator. We have 7 more to start. So go ahead. I didn't give a countdown because the Eliminator's never full. Like it just never is. So waiting for the Snickerdoodle 12 to drop. Yeah, I mean the Puppy 2 is probably pretty close. I'm gonna guess that the Puppy 2 is around the corner. And thanks everybody who popped in. If you're on X and you're part of Sean Mitchell's crew and you have not come over to the YouTube side, I do most of my content on the YouTube side. I am currently working towards clips. I have it figured out. I will do my first one for tomorrow. I will start engaging a lot more on X myself. So give me a follow over there, and it would be a massive help if you came over here and gave me a sub on YouTube. So we are waiting on 20-second. Let me make sure I don't rug pull people. I did that once on accident. It is 20-second eliminator. We are waiting on 2. Please fill the Superflex. The Superflex Puppy will be filled. Like, I don't think they're going to wait until the Superflex Puppy is filled before they release it. I think they're waiting on the Schnauzer 2 to get full. Or the Greyhound, when one of those two gets full. So probably my guess would be next week, one of those drops. So that's just my guess. But yeah, this is why I like having guests on, like talking through the Cooper Cup stuff with somebody who, is very knowledgeable on things. And I've had multiple people like kind of try to talk me into it, and seeing the stuff on them actually lining up JSN on the outside a little bit. That is the one thing that I've been wanting to hear before I actually start clicking Cup. I don't think that the anti-Cup thing is something that will kill my entire portfolio. That's one reason I was okay not doing it. And the one reason I was willing to fade him. So typing this in the pound Discord. But that's one reason I was willing doing it. But he could be a massive advance rate piece, and that is very valuable as well. I mean, I talk to all kinds of people, and anybody who does fantasy football has takes for a reason. Hey, thank you, Chad. And so, by the way, I have not gotten to this yet, but there are plenty of creators in this chat right now. One of them, Chad Candles, goes on usually 7:30ish to 8 a.m. Central Time every morning. It's a very good, chill stream. Steve Schaupier, he is in charge of the Fanspeak Network. The Fanspeak Network actually is where I met Sean. Like Sean and I played on Bestball Jeopardy over there. I believe that is tonight. Is tonight the tonight is the Steve versus Herzig, right? Is that right? Steve versus Herzig tonight. Um, Still need one for the 20-second eliminator. We have Hartman. It's his other account, which is Hartman Fantasy Football. That is his YouTube channel. Looks like we filled. Thielen was also like around 14 guy. Okay, tonight is Bendels versus Dogpound. Got it. Next week is Herzig. Oh yeah, and by the way, after this draft should be over right about time for me to head on over to Big Draft Energy channel. I will link that. I'll probably vamp for a little bit at the end of this and then send the link, and I will be over there in Big Draft Energy's channel today. We will be doing drafters. It should be a good time. I look forward to it. I really enjoyed the weekly winners we did on my stream, so it should be a good time. We got the Broadster here at the 2. Broadster is in a area he can actually draft. Congratulations. Sladen at the 6. I have the 6. Jalapeno is at the 7. King Koss, Nick is here at the 9. I haven't seen him chat yet. He's out there lurking. Losimo is at the 11. He might not be lurking. Hey, he was in the Pound Discord. So now he's here. It wasn't a lurk. He's just now finally here. Yeah, what is up, sir? Okay, yeah, I was just going through it and I'm like, oh yeah, there's Nick. And this is usually when this is the hour I usually stream. I figured that you caught it through the Pound Discord because I posted that we needed just one. And if you're just in here, please smash that like. We got actually going to get an elite running back here, like a Genty or I'm going to get Gibbs or Jefferson. Like the 6 spot feels so good. You just get something elite. Derrick Henry. I actually have 17% Henry in this, and I have 2% Derrick Henry in the other formats. I will bring up my little chart here. Detroit, what's Vegas have week 1? Apparently, okay, Vegas has the Patriots week 1. I do think that an RB just makes it feel way smoother for eliminator. Running backs go very early here. 6 spot is great. You also have, you get decisions, you get to push players. I feel like you get the last of a tier. Like you're almost guaranteed to have a wide receiver and a running back available to you on the way back, no matter. So like if I would have went Jefferson, like I will have a running back usually that's fine to take on the way back. And if I take a running back first, I almost always have a good, like a receiver before the next tier. Like I really like the 6 spot. God, my Bills have to face Derrick Henry week 1. Yep. Yeah, they do. And for those of you who don't know, I have this chart. And I can link it if you guys want it. I can link it in the descriptions. But basically, it's got all the weeks. It's got individual weeks also set up. That way, if you want a weekly winners and like target a week, you can look at that. The colors are off. It looks a lot better on Mozilla, but it basically uses Mike Clay's projections. We are on the clock. We will take Lad. You know, I don't ever take. Who do they play week 1? I'm going to take AJ Brown. I don't take much AJ Brown, and I love Lad. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But yeah, basically with this chart, I just charted out the first 6 weeks using Mike Clay's post draft projections on defensive rankings. And I've got a heat chart basically for Eliminator set up. So if anybody wants that information, let me know. I will pop this link in the descriptions below. And if not, you could just join the Who Crew, the free Discord. It is in the links below, and you can just hit me up there, and I will do it then. So, another fellow Bills fan. They're congregating. You got to watch out. They're congregating. You can't have too many. You can't have too many the Bills Mafia in one place. You can't do that. We got to watch out for them. So, right now, Gibbs, AJ Brown, I love it. Every once in a while, Hurts will fall back over here, so that will be the goal. But quarterbacks do tend to go a little earlier. I will smash T. Higgins here. Absolutely. Brees Hall went up here, and like I would have taken T over Brees, but normally in the middle of the board, I end up taking Brees. I just really like Brees as a player. Yep, great in real football, useless in fantasy and beyond. It's a great team. Time to. Sorry, who? My phone died at the end of draft. Not sure if I snipers. I didn't notice. Our draft kind of went together pretty well. We ended up taking Jackson Dart because all the RBs we liked went at the end of the draft. So, no, it's all good. And in the last round, if I haven't taken somebody and you snipe me, like it's kind of my fault in the last couple rounds to just not pull that player up, since ADP doesn't matter near as much after like round 15. They essentially are $1 auction players at that point. So I'd hop in another, but my 16-year-old has baseball practice and a college coach is very nice. That is fantastic. I wish you the best of luck, sir. That is way more important than drafting an eliminator that you're probably going to be eliminated by week 3 because the math says you'll probably be eliminated by week 3. Like so like I love the idea of this contest, but after I max this and I have no teams available in week 7, I'm going to feel really bad, you know. Like it's going to feel really bad if that happens. Yeah, probably week 1, right? Like I was giving you a little credit, guy. Just a little credit, you know. Not a ton, but a little. You deserve at least a little credit. Oh, Jalen Hurts goes. I mean, what? I don't know. Like, I am not worried about the walking boot stuff. Um, I will go ahead and pull Joe Mixon up. I will probably just stop at these 2 running backs. I normally go a little deeper at RB here. I'm going to say the walking boot is a nothing burger, and Gibbs is a smash. And we're just going to take a bunch of receivers from here on out. You could usually get some receiver values. Yes, Mixon go. I took him like 12 picks before, but you're going to see like James Conner go in the middle of this round. So, and David Montgomery over here, like where Lawsimo goes. So, I'll have some wide receiver value come. Unless you max with 8% exposure on every player, some people will lose all their teams early and others will have a shit ton. Yes, absolutely. And my number 1 exposure in Eliminator right now, I've done 41. Walking boot is literally the worst eliminator situation. I mean, it might be. and I don't have much Mixon in Eliminator. Uh, I haven't even heard why he's like. I just heard that it should be like he should be ready for training camp. Um, it's probably like a minor. Like, let's see if I can find out. Okay, 7 days ago, Joe Mixon no longer in a walking boot. So, I mean, Zay Flowers is a fantastic eliminator pick. I like him a lot more in eliminator. And actually, I lied. I'm gonna go ahead and take Kenneth Walker because Kenneth Walker, I'm a like I don't think that ADP, it's only a couple off. So we're gonna go ahead and take Kenneth Walker there. Yes, we got double by week 8, but that's fine. Whatever team spikes hardest week 2 will probably influence this a ton since week 1. I mean, you think 50% is pretty easy, but you're right. Like, I think week 2 and 3 will like if a player spikes hard through through both those weeks, like you'll see a massive amount go through. But my number one exposure in this format is Pat Bryant right now at 37%. Like I have a rookie at 37% because he is cheaper in this tournament than he is in any other tournament. He still goes at like 185, and I could be wrong, but I just expect him to fully have a role week 1. And like I think worst case scenario by like week 3, he's like a pivotal piece of that offense. Flowers is like Godwin for me. I'm not fundamentally against it, but there are so many great players near them. I rarely hit the top of the queue. 40% Rico in Eliminator? Nice. Like that's a stand. Is like I actually I was listening to Neil Orfield's stream right before this, and he said something that actually makes a lot of sense that the late drafted eliminator teams should have a massive advantage because they get all the camp and injury news. And whenever it randomly reseeds you for week 2, you're going to be like, it's not going to try to pair you with somebody that you drafted with in the same time box. It's just going to randomly do it. So you're going to have more players live. So you're going to have a better projected volume. Like, just like, and he was asking Ben Gretsch if he thought that that made sense. And to me, that makes total sense. I normally would go Olave, but we're going to go Jerry Jeudy here. Cleveland plays Cincinnati week 1. They do have to play Baltimore after that, but Baltimore's defense shouldn't be as good as it was. Based on what I hear, they still should be pretty good, but I don't think they're going to be as good. If you have a tie-in points, is that stated somewhere? Like, is that actually stated somewhere? Because that would be wild. I guess I missed that. Yeah, but all the teams who got massive deals on RB2s and RBs who right. I mean, if you drafted early, okay. So if you drafted early and you miss the negatives, you should have a better team for sure. I agree. Yeah, that's a fact. But whenever it's just head to head every single week, like the added strength of like getting like because you don't have to beat a 1 of 13. It's just a head to head, right? Um, there we go. I couldn't even find the right tab. So Godwin, so all the injured and suspended possible guys are the ones who are available here. I'm fine with any of them, honestly. We'll take Godwin. Or no, we'll go ahead and take Ricky Pearsall. I got 2 bye week 9s. I didn't notice that. Don't need a third bye week 9. Um, we'll take Pearsall over, and Pearsall's not actually like coming off of a major injury. So this is basically a 2-man pod. So yeah, right. Could you imagine the stream equity of these eliminators in like week 4 if you were facing Steve, Tyler? The stream equity of these eliminators like week 4 if you were facing Steve or Tyler or facing Eric, etc. Oh, you mean like how the stream drafts are usually sharper, but you go against one that wasn't in a stream against somebody who knows what they're doing? Yeah, no, like that's part of streaming. Like if I read what you were trying to get at. Yeah, Eliminator is absolutely the greatest sweat. Like I'm almost definitely maxing it. It doesn't mean it's the best. It like it might feel awful. Like last year I got smoked in the Eliminator, but I did most of mine before the CMC news and I had 18% CMC. So I only did 50 of them, but I had 18% CMC. I got a ton of early picks, and yeah, it absolutely destroyed me. No, like week 4, your eliminator team versus Steve Shoops. Oh yeah, yeah. You're talking about like being able to get on there, talk through it, and everything. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. If you get in 1v1s, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that's been talked about quite a bit. That's one reason I do want to max this. So I have a lot of him, and I did not take the other guy. Um, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take Fields. Like I've said it a couple times, but week 1, Justin Fields gets a revenge game against Pittsburgh. I'm actually kind of bullish on that. And yes, Pittsburgh's defense is supposed to be really good, but if they get through that, they play Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Miami, and Dallas as the next 4 games. And then the hardest game, which is Denver. But if like he has a revenge game versus his former team, which is a good defense, week 1. But then he has 4 really good defensive matchups. Like I think Fields is a smash. Like and I think it's yeah, and like I like taking Drake May with him, and Drake May has an awesome early schedule. He plays Vegas, Miami, then Pittsburgh, then Carolina, Buffalo, New Orleans. Like Drake May in Eliminator is a fantastic pick. Yeah, like I were you watching the weekly winners I did with Big Draft Energy where we got Steph Diggs at like 119? Like he's like, I don't like he said that he's like, I don't like Steph Diggs this year. I'm like, well, we're taking him because this value is nuts. Like, because like I'm not very, very seldomly when I have a guest on him, I'm gonna be like, no, we have to do this. Like I'm actually above on Diggs. Like, but you get a 25 pick discount on a player that has the ceiling of Diggs in a ceiling tournament. Like um I let's look at ADP here. I think Shaheed is the pick. How does everybody feel? Actually, we'll just take Brock Purdy here. We got Ricky Pearsall. We'll go ahead and stack that up. Stacking not that big of a deal, but it gives me 2 guys. Let's see. San Francisco has a reasonably good schedule to start. Uh, so I'm fine with that. Uh, I'll probably still add a third quarterback late. I think that it's just going to be really good to like not make sure you don't get a zero. Yeah, I can't believe Diggs almost made it back. Yeah, I already read that. I am on my game. Yeah, we so what do you guys think of that team that Sean and I haven't done a poll yet. The BBM that we drafted. There we go. Poll is up. And if you don't know, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with having somebody not be your cup of tea, but like 25 picks past ADP, like that's a pretty big. Schefter said it Tuesday morning. Oh man, like I cannot wait for Dylan Gabriel to start before Shador. After all these people out here talking about, well, Shador's more talented, all this stuff. And by the way, Big Draft Energy, for those of you who do not know, is also not, he is a Patriots fan as well. And he is anti Septics for whatever for whatever that's worth. I mean, I can't believe I'm going to get one of these three back. Like, this feels awesome. And Ramondre is probably a fantastic pick in Eliminator, by the way. Yeah, we're gonna smash Rashad Bateman there. It was Bateman or Jonnu. A bunch of the tight ends I like will be back around. So there is that. If you would like me to go back over that BBM before you make your vote, just type it in chat and I will do that. I should be able to fit it in between picks. Yeah, like haters are like me are brimming. Like I'm just like, oh yeah, I knew. Like overreaction city, absolutely. I'm taking Diggs, but I really am worried about a massive decline in efficiency last 2 years. Like, I don't. Was he really inefficient last year? Fantasy wise, he was fantastic. Um, and like, and this is coming from somebody who faded him last year, like completely. I thought that Tank Dell was going to be just a massively better player than Diggs. Uh, and I had like 2 to 3% Diggs, and I had like 12% Tank Dell, and they were going like Dell was going just a couple picks before Diggs. So like I admit I was wrong, like because Diggs actually looked good. Surely taking Tank Dell over Derrick Henry was sharp. It's what I did. It's, yeah, yeah, I did like for sure. I mean, Sladen here gets Janu. Uh, I mean, I'll take either one of these. He does not. He is afraid of Janu. Did he have? Oh, he has Bowers. Okay. Yeah, no wonder. No wonder he didn't take Janu. He has Bowers. I had zeros last year, and you got bailed out. Yeah, absolutely. I had zero and got bailed out, and like my pick in that area was awful. Like, so the people I was in on around the 3-4 turn, like, so coming back around, I was very bullish at early fourth round Isaiah Pacheco. I got crushed there. I think that was probably an okay pick and got crushed. Uh, Tank Dell, I was a smash. That was an absolutely awful pick. I had very little Derrick Henry. That was awful. This year, I also have very little Henry, but it's an entire round earlier. I do have a lot of Henry in Eliminator, though. I mean, I just don't see that being possible. ETN was there late, like ETN was kind of middle of the fourth. It was Travis Kelsey was also there, who I was taking a bunch of, and Sam Laporta. It was Sam Laporta, Travis or Pacheco started at the 4-5 turn and worked his way up to the 3-4 turn. Uh yeah, ETN sometimes went there. There was a wide receiver I really Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers went to the 3-4 turn over and over again, and I had very little Zay Flowers. Waddle was round 2. I actually faded him and Olave at that price, but I took Cooper Kupp at that price. Like, and I took Achane over Saquon Barkley every time. That was a loss. So, but like my picks after the first 3 rounds was actually like I was way into a bunch of the later picks that were that actually worked. I'm gonna pull up. Yeah, we're gonna take Hollywood Brown here. Yeah, so like my hits were the 4-5 turn or the 5-6 turn. I was in on Lad McConkey, JSN, and BTJ quite a bit. BTJ, I ended up like around 8%. But Lad, I was like, I think 15%. And JSN, I was like 12, 13%. So like I did a lot better in 6, 7, and 8 than the rest of the draft last year. So we got we'll read through the team real quick. We have a 2-3-6-1. Justin Fields, Brock Purdy. Running backs, Jahmyr Gibbs, Joe Mixon, Kenneth Walker. That feels really good. I do have double week 8 bye here. Wide receivers, A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, Jerry Jeudy, Ricky Pearsall, Rashad Bateman, Hollywood Brown. Tight end, Jonnu Smith. So although I have double week 8 bye with 2 good running backs, I have 0 week 8 buys at wide receiver, so I should be able to at least guarantee a good flex for week 8. Look. I mean, well, yeah, he's going against Nico Collins and Tank Dell instead of whatever they were trotting out there, right? And like that does not worry me at all. Man, that went bad quickly. Uh, you know what? I'm just gonna take 3 more running backs late. Yeah, like Shakir was the best one, but he was young. Oh, 2023 was his worst on Buffalo, was it? But wasn't he hampered all season with an injury that like during that year, which that's not necessarily bullish either. Um, bad vibes. Okay, so it was. Well, I thought he was like working through a small injury too, but maybe I'm just misremembering that. I'm probably misremembering that. Yeah, because he was like forcing himself out and all that, right? Yeah. Yeah, hampered by Ken Dorsey. Love it. All right, we will. I mean, I'll take a Braylon Allen chair. What run? I will not take a Braylon Allen chair. We'll take Roshan. He has. He's kind of been a winner of the free agency. They haven't added anybody. I wasn't taking a ton of them. I'm just getting them at a more expensive price, but I'm fine with it. That's partly why Josh won MVP, to be fair. Yeah, I do remember all that stuff going on now. Absolutely. Yeah. See, this is why anybody who is here, who's watching on X, still watching, why they need to come over to the YouTube side and smash that sub, because then you can watch this content all the time, and you can also become part of the Who Crew Discord, to where we have conversations about stuff like this all the time. It's definitely starting to pick up. I think we're up to 20 some 25ish members. Like after yesterday, I think we added quite a few. We got 24 members right now. Uh it was 20, it was like 18 yesterday. So people are flocking in there, and YouTube, and actually I haven't seen anyone from X even comment at all this whole time. Uh I believe it shows up when they comment for me to be able to pull up. So, but they're probably audio listeners for the most part. Nothing wrong with that. So we got I keep so many windows open that I get lost whenever I'm scrolling through. I'm curious how bad of a pick is Anthony Richardson in this? How bad of a pick? All right. We're going to go ahead and take Sam Darnold here. Um yeah, we're just going to add a third quarterback. At at worst case, he doesn't start at the very end of the season when this team's already eliminated. I do have a stack with Kenneth Walker. I can add MVS to this if I want. Yeah, I'm not going to talk bad about what people prefer to watch things on. Like it's all personal choice, man. Like, hey, what's up, Devin? Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. Even though this stream is fairly close to being over. Um, let me go do this real quick. I was just going over to get the link for the Big Draft Energy link for afterwards. Got you and nice. Yeah, and for those who aren't as well, like a guy Sleaze, who is My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football, he puts out videos. He does like a lot of redraft stuff. Like he had a kicker rated, like he rated kickers today. I am never gonna go that deep. Like this man went that deep for redraft. So if you do redraft stuff, like go check out My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football. I watched the video, but like I pretty much leave any league that uses kickers still. So it didn't mean anything for me, but like he absolutely put in the work for it. And that is respectable for sure. Um yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go with Keaton Mitchell. A little early probably for him. It's less criticism of the person and more criticism of the platform itself. Every platform nowadays tries to be the everything app. Okay, got it. A mini Huhame stream is better than nothing. I mean, yeah, that's yeah, I pretty much like if you tell me there's kickers in your league and it's not a dynasty I've been in for like 10 plus years, I'm probably just gonna like be like, I'm good. I'm good. Uh yeah, this is a fact. No such thing as early RB in Eliminator. Yeah, no problem. Like Devin, like so the BBM we done earlier, I will go over it after this. So those of you who were not in here during that can vote properly and tell me how much of this team sucked. But we had Sean Mitchell on from Extend the Drive. All of his information is in the description below. So give him a follow. Like, go back and watch it. See if you like what he does. If you like it, then go follow him, or just go follow him because you're a good guy. Like, or woman. Like, whatever you want to do, however you want to approach it. But at minimum, give him a listen. All right, so I like a lot of these wide receivers here. Make sure not to get a week 9 by probably. I think we'll just go Calvin Austin here. Actually, yeah, we're not going to worry about stacking up old Sam Darnold here. There is a player that I do want. I would love to get Elijah Arroyo here with my last pick. That's why I decided not to go with the other guy. But like, I'm fine not getting Arroyo. I mean Dante. So I have queued up Thornton in a couple of my slows in the time box tournaments for sure. Didn't hear. I was just gonna kind of like sit around and chat. Like if it's a $20, I actually don't have funds in there at the moment. I'm down to like $13 because I only do the minis. So I just put like 20, $25 in at a time. So I was just gonna kind of get on there and kind of chat with you on the draft. Yep, I figured as much. I think it's easier to flow, and like it's obviously going to be your team, but like I think just some banter makes a banter between two people makes a stream go very well. Yeah, and you and I have like different takes on a lot of players, so like getting those conversations out is like what makes fantasy football so much fun. Is di- dis uh, respectfully disagreeing on things, right? Like, just don't make it disrespectful, and it's all good. I almost said disrespectfully disagreeing, which is exactly not what I meant. So, like, I stopped that's why I stuttered for a second. Uh, it's also absolutely. Yeah, so we got a 3-5-7-3 quarterback: Justin Fields, Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold. I didn't realize Darnold goes that early in Eliminator, so I actually got a deal on him. Jahmyr Gibbs, Joe Mixon, Kenneth Walker, awesome first three. And then Roshan, Keaton Mitchell to hopefully one of those fill in for week 8. Wide receivers: A.J. Brown, T. Higgins, Jerry Jeudy, Ricky P., Bateman, Hollywood, Calvin Austin. Accidentally stacked bye weeks very well. 2 week 9, 2 week 10. Tight ends: Jonnu, Goddard, and Arroyo. I really like the team. If anybody's in chat and wants a review, let me know. I'm going to go review the BBM real quick for those who were not here. And by the way, I'm not going to max BBM at all. I'm mostly going to do them with people on stream. So the team, the BBM was 3-5-7-3. Quarterback: Caleb Williams, Justin Herbert, Jackson Dart. Running backs: Breece Hall, Chuba Hubbard, Brian Robinson, Isaac Garendo for the bring back. Jarquez Hunter, a little thinner at running back, but I think it definitely can play. Wide receiver: Malik Neighbors, Lad McConkey, Devontae Adams, Rome, Downs, Dobbs, and Adonai Mitchell. Tight ends: Mark Andrews, Colston Loveland, Mike Gesicki. All of my BBM numbers go into sprints, and yeah, exactly. Like like I could enter, you could literally enter 150 weekly winners and 150 eliminators and still have $1,250 left, max an entire puppy, and still have $500 left. You can max all of those. That is 450 drafts for the price and still have 500 left over for the price of maxing BBM. Like, yes, you don't have a chance to win the 2 million, but there's that. So we will go. I assume that the eliminator is over. Brought wanted a review. He's got a 3-4-8-4 or 3. So I'm assuming he has a dominant running back room. Bo Nix, Jared Goff, Daniel Jones, very good. Looks like it's very correlated. Saquon, Jacobs, Chase Brown, Stevenson. That's actually a very good top 4. Stevenson to hit the early buys. Like I would guess by like week 10-ish, maybe he doesn't get as big of a role, but he's going to have a role all season. Wide receivers, Cortland Sutton, Travis Hunter, Chris Olave, Cooper Kupp, Marvin Mims, Adam Thielen, 13 pick discount on Mims, but Mims is absolutely going to flip with Pat Bryant at some point. But he got the triple stack Denver all week 12 buys. So he absolutely stacked up Denver. I like it. Pat Bryant, Thielen, and Alec Pierce. And then Laporta stacked, Kyle Pitts, and Theo Johnson. It's a very solid team. Got not a ton of strength at wide receiver, but I honestly I've done a couple of the hyper fragiles on Eliminator. I kind of like it, like getting the extra receiver and just trying to force your way through by basically playing fancy defense. Like, you make sure your floor is very high, and that is exactly what you've done here. Because I think and then taking some spike week style players here, like Mims and Pierce and Travis Hunter, right? So layering that through, that is fantastic. Then we got Losimo wants a review. We got 3672, Drake May, JJ McCarthy, Matt Stafford. Running backs, Travion Henderson, David Montgomery, Austin Eckler, Jaden Blue, Dylan Sampson, and Blake Corum. He waited a little while on RB for sure, but he got David Montgomery, who will definitely give good early season production. Eckler and Blue, if you like Blue, that's a fine pick. I'm not in on Blue, but those are 2 guys who will definitely have a role, and then 3 rookies. That's a lot of rookies for that. But if it hits, and I think Travion and Ramondre will be 50-50 week 1. So you got 3 guys who should play, and I'm going to assume your wide receiver room is just spectacular. You got Puka, London, Terry McLaurin, pick 35, Mike Evans, Jordan Addison. Might be suspended, but that is perfectly fine whenever you got this 4 here. Then you kind of stopped, and took Lockett at the very end. I really like it. Addison with the early buy. I've been doing this a bit, taking Addison with the week 5 buy guys, with London or Rome or DJ Moore or Matthew Golden. I'm trying to layer in Addison with those players a little bit more. Because he should be held, he is undervalued, and he should be, if he's suspended even 3 weeks, he's back by time you need him for all the bye weeks. And then Hawkinson and Hunter Henry. Yeah, I like it. I like it quite a bit. I'm a little squeamish at this running back room, but I've had teams like that. Whenever you're on the back half of the board, you got Puka at 11, obviously the running backs were just going off like crazy. You could have taken Taylor or Achane, but I generally go double receiver and hope something falls back to me down here. So I like what you done. And then Nick also wanted a review. He's got a 2682, Lamar T-Law. Very good. I love that. I've done that 3 times, I think, already in this. Genty, Hampton, Mason. He is not worried that Hampton is not going to get a bunch of carries week 1. Neither am I. Jordan Mason, Travis Etienne, Miles Sanders, Taj Brooks. I absolutely love this running back room. I have a bunch of Sanders now. I have a bunch of Brooks. I don't really get to ETN much, but for Eliminator, I do like it. I like him better in Eliminator than Tootin, but I like Tootin better overall. We got Jordan Mason and like projected goal line back, and then I love that wide receiver or that running back room. And then Brian Thomas, Zay Flowers, Juwan Jennings, Shakir, Dobbs, Tillman, Keenan Allen, Coker. So he's shooting for his spikes at running back. And he's got Brian Thomas and then a bunch of players who I consider very good floor plays for Eliminator. Zay Flowers, Shakir, Dobbs. If Keenan plays, that's probably what he's going to do. And then Tillman as a spike guy. Juwan Jennings is a floor and spike guy, kind of. So, and then Andrews and Kraft. Yeah, I love this. All these teams, I just read off 5 advancing teams. Sorry to the rest of the pod. Good luck. I did not read off Sladen's team. He's the only one I haven't went over. We got Josh Allen, Bryce Young, 2682. Derrick Henry, Pacheco, Tracy, Tootin, Hunter, and Brashard Smith. Hoping that Pacheco stays healthy enough to get you to where one of these guys is projecting. I like it. And then wide receivers, Tet, Devonta Smith, Debo, Egbuka, Higgins, Burden, DeMario, and Hopkins. 2 very guys to project for volume early or very early in the season to hopefully get your 3 rookies alive. Debo should have a lot of volume early. Devonta Smith is just a spike week guy, but he's a major spike week guy. Yeah, I like the way that this room is built. Like, it was built with thought. And then Brock Bowers and Gesicki. Like, you look through the team and you think it's kind of missing some upside because, like, you got Josh Allen early, right? You got Derrick Henry early, all the way up at 5. And then you don't see an elite wide receiver. But then you go down and you look at Brock Bowers and you're like, okay, that's where the spike's going to happen. It all makes sense now. So I like this team as well. Yeah, like I don't like the Henry at 5, but like the way you built the team makes sense. Like it was thoughtfully built, right? Like I would never pull Henry up above Jahmyr Gibbs or McCaffrey or Genty. Like I'm just never doing that. But if that's where you have him rated, and then you start Rainbow, like you did build in a way to try to build out of that. Yeah, I'd like the team overall. I would just like it a lot more if that was Jahmyr Gibbs instead of Brock Bowers. Yeah, he's literally the big dog, bro. Yeah, but thank you all for coming out. I'm going to take a small break. For those of you who wish to listen to me yap a little longer, click this link. I will be live over there in 12 minutes. Thanks everybody for coming out. I had a blast. I hope you all had a blast. And apparently everybody who voted that BBM team was a smash. Tomorrow, I'm still waiting on hearing if my guest is able to do it. If so, it should be a very, very fun show. So I'm assuming it will happen, but just waiting on a definite answer. So peace out. I will keep everybody informed. Yeah, and click the link and give me a like. I can't reveal since they haven't confirmed. Like they're making sure that their schedule is fine. So I will tweet it out or post it in my Discord as soon as I know for sure. See ya.